Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, Arsenal lose 1-0 to Aston Villa, who for me put in an absolutely brilliant performance from start to finish. Dare I even say a little bit of a masterclass from Jackie Grealish there. Created the most amount of chances, glided around with the ball. Captain's performance. Tyrone Mings at the back was sensational as well. A well-deserved victory. Arsenal, an abject performance, really. Nothing to take from it. They hit the post, yes, late on, it could have gone in, but would they have deserved it? Not in my opinion. And after the heroics of two brilliant victories against Man City and Liverpool, respectively, we'll probably be leaving a bit of a bitter taste in the mouth of many Gooners that will want to end the season on a high, especially with the FA Cup final on the way. We're going to have a few callers on this show. We'll open up the lines to you all a little bit later, but do me a big favor first of all. Hit the like button, please hit the share button, retweet, subscribe, hit the notifications, all that jazz as we always ask for. Please get that done. See, this reads what some of your comments here are saying right now. Stephen says, hi, Sarah, hope you're well. Can I join the show? A little bit later, Stephen will open the lines up. Zane, the Powerpuff are back. Yeah, they were poor tonight, to be fair. Jay here says that Jack Grealish, amazing to watch. We need to get him at United. Yeah, Man United fans tuning in. Jackie Grealish, do you want him? Do you want Jackie Grealish at your club? That's the big question. So I'm lifting this chair up. Now I'm going to put it down a bit. Now it's a bit too high. I'm just trying to get it right. He was sensational for me today, Jackie Grealish. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. A comment here from a member, Ram, who says, can't beat a relegation-threatened team. Arsenal with laughing emojis. Is it that bad, though? Is that overreacting? I mean, it was a poor performance from Arsenal, but does it really matter? That's the question. Huge victory for Villa, though. Tonight really was. We're going to jump onto our first call. We're going to have a first guest to the show, should I say. We're going to have a girl on coming on right about now. Yes, how's it going, mate?
I don't know, man. It was a bad game.
It was a bad game. I mean, what went wrong tonight from an Arsenal point of view? I know that Villa are fighting to stay up. Jackie Grealish had a brilliant performance. But why were Arsenal so poor across the pitch?
I feel like the fact that we played the back three against all these teams, we thought we could go into this game with the back three, and quickly you realize that we had to go a lot more attacking because we lacked creativity throughout the whole game. 2 chances, but at the end of the day, we depend on moments of brilliance from individual players. There was no team goals. There was no moment where you could say, "Hey, that was good team play." It was a bunch of individuals on the pitch today, and it did not seem like at any point you could say that was a good pattern of play. That was a good moment. And the back three against the lesser teams, they're just going to sit back and they're going to let your center backs have the ball as much as you want. What's 60% possession, or how much possession we had away from home?
8%.
It's useless. It's useless.
What's interesting for me, and I know the thing is, you won your last 2 games and you got yourself to an FA Cup final, and Arteta could win an FA Cup in his first half a season as manager, and that's amazing. I suppose my concern would be, and this is why it's always important to look at performance and results at the same time, is 3 games on the bounce now. I don't know about Tottenham games. I haven't checked it. But 3 games on the bounce, you've been out-created in front of goal. Like tonight, Villa created more opportunities and they had more shots on goal than you. You can kind of understand it in the, you got to think, when you beat Liverpool, you actually only created 1 chance in the whole game and still beat them 2-1, which is more by luck than judgment. Against City, defended brilliantly, but you had to show more creativity. You had to show more guts almost going forward. Maybe it's the players you started with, it just didn't click. Or do you also maybe think there was a bit of exhaustion? Is there a bit of tiredness after those 2 massive performances against Liverpool and City? Could that be is that a fair enough excuse?
Tiredness is not an excuse. A guy like Torreira has barely featured. Cedric is fully hasn't featured in a long hasn't featured the last game. Eddie Nketiah has been suspended for 3 games. Kolasinac hasn't featured the last game. Holding didn't feature the last game. So when you think about it, that's a lot of rotation against a team that's fighting relegation. To me, what stands out to me in the first half is Torreira. We expect so much more from Torreira. Even you yourself, you rate Torreira highly, and a lot of fans rate Torreira highly. But let's be honest, this winning run, Xhaka and Ceballos have been the staple of the midfield, and those two, Xhaka not being part of the game, the first half, we barely did anything with the ball. Torreira was, to me, missing.
Yeah, look, I thought, do you know what's mad about Torreira? When you first signed him, I watched him play and I just thought, wow, this kid. But he reminds me a little bit maybe of what we're seeing at United with David De Gea, in the sense of, I don't think the heart's there. And people always try and push down heart. They try and put our passion merchant, heart. No, if you don't have the desire and the determination to give 100% in every game, that will come unstuck when you play a team like Villa, who have got to give everything today. And he didn't look like he was in the match. And, you know, look, Xhaka is a good player. I'm not denying he's not a good player.
He's our best midfielder.
He is. But then that's a sad state of affairs. Do you get where I'm coming from? If that's your best, that's an area that needs to be addressed. And, of course, you're looking at Thomas Partey. But, of course, if you look at the league table now, where are you currently sitting? Is it 10th?
Don't even remind me, mate. Don't even remind me.
10th in the league. I mean, the highest you can finish is 8th. I mean, the good thing is you can't go any lower than 10th. Everton can't catch you in relation to that. When you look ahead, though, for next season, I know you've got this FA Cup, and I know winning the FA Cup is very, very important. That isn't sarcasm. I think it is. For you to, I mean, that's Burnley could finish in front of you this season.
Listen.
How do you catch up with the Man Uniteds, Chelseas, Cities, and Liverpool, who are going to have big summers and move on to that next level? I know we all like to throw salt at each other and slag off each other's teams, but in real terms, those teams are all going to move on again this year. And what do you need to do to keep, at the very least, keep up with them, if not gain on them?
Back Arteta to the moon. Today, there was a banner that flew over the Aston Villa Stadium. And what it said was, back Arteta, Kroenke out. And I think every single fan would agree. Back Arteta, give him the opportunity to sign the players that he wants to sign. Because if you give him the opportunity to sign the players that he wants to sign, with the players that he's had, he's getting decent performances. But if you give him the midfielders that he wants, if you give him the defender that he wants, if you give him another attacking option that he needs, those kind of signings could definitely transform our team from where we are, push us forward. Because today, against the lesser teams, we didn't have no one to unlock their defense. Aubameyang needs somebody to pass the ball to him. Lacazette today was playing almost as a CDM role at times. It was all credit to him. He played good the last couple of games, but today it was not his game. Eddie Nketiah, I root for this guy all the time. But today, what was he on? Why was he even on the pitch? He wasn't doing anything the whole entire game. And the thing to me, Terry, is if the team does not get backed in the summer transfer window, I'm not even saying spend a bunch of money. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if he has specifically asked for 1 to 2 pieces that are integral to his plans, if you're not going to give it to him in his first window, when are you going to ever back him? Because to me, this is when you need to back him.
And that's why I agree. So I was going to ask you on that. Specifically, what, in your opinion, does back him mean? Because, and I say that, and I'm going to throw shade at my own club, we spent 800 odd million pounds before it started to work, before we started to actually see progression. So it can't just be money. What does spending the money look like to you as a Gooner?
It's not only about spending money, Terry. You have to be willing to take a loss on a player that Arteta does not want to keep at the club. You have to be willing to take a maybe even a 10 to 8 million pound loss on a player like Torreira if Arteta does not see him in his plans, and let him leave for even cheaper. If it means, it might not be good business, but if it means there's going to be harmony in the club and he's going to get rid of a player he doesn't want to keep and he's going to get a player in that he wants, those kind of things are as much as backing a player as paying 50 to 40 million for a player. You have to get rid of the players that he wants to get rid of, and you have to bring in players that he is interested in.
It's not
only about spending money.
And you're right. I'm glad you said that, because I'm happy that Jose Mourinho is no longer at Manchester United. However, when I used to say he's not being backed and he wasn't, it was because they wouldn't let him buy and sell who he wants. Now, I didn't want Martial and Pogba to leave. Really, I wanted it to be resolved. But at the same time, I could recognize if you've got a manager in there, you either back him or you don't. You can't sort of live in no man's land and back him on some things and not on others. It causes more problems than it's worth. And it's going to be interesting because I think what looks good, though, from Arteta's point of view is there's no backlash at the moment. Well, there hasn't been any backlash for the Guendouzi, like kicking Guendouzi out the squad, not picking Ozil. Ozil tweeting, I'm ready and I'm fit and available. Nothing's coming back, which tells you the players have got respect for him. We've seen that exact same thing at Manchester United. You will see progress. And I mean this, I'm putting all salt aside. I'm going to banter Arsenal when I have to, but all salt aside, you are going to progress under Arteta because the one thing he's brought in is stability. There's a shape, there's a system. It's just going to take a couple of years of buying the right players. You're going to have some real top moments and against some downs. It's a bit like watching Saka play tonight. Saka, I thought, had a really poor game. However, he's a kid. These games are going to happen. Look at our boy Mason Gunwood, absolute super talent. Last couple of games he's played in, he's kind of been a little bit invisible. That happens to most 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Fans, though, have just got to relax, wait, be patient.
You know what the most positive thing that came out of this past couple of weeks is? I heard that Arteta said he has a direct line to the Kroenkes and he doesn't talk. There's no like system where you talk to your supervisor to get to your manager. He can call them straight up and be like, yo, Kroenke, I need help. So when I hear stuff like that, that's positive. And that's something I can take away from the games that we played. Defensively, we've improved. Attacking wise, we can still score goals. The issue for us is not the defense, it's the midfield. If we can fix that midfield and bring in another center back and possibly a winger to help the depth of the squad, a young up and coming winger like a Said Benrahma from Brentford, and don't laugh at those kind of signings, people, because these kind of signings is the signings that you could get for cheap, and next thing you know, he could become the next Riyad Mahrez.
Well, this is true. I was talking on our show earlier about what Man United need to do this summer. And I look at people like Lewis and Campbell, Buendia, Brooks. You know, there's loads of players in relegation teams right now. So they're essentially championship players that you could pick up. At the very least can improve your squad and give you a little bit more strength in depth. And I think that's important to do. We're going to add a few more callers to this. Zane there saying, Man United fans, your club has been banter since Fergie left. You've spent $1 billion and nothing to show for it. Once again, once Arteta gets these players, Ollie has no system. Bro.
You know, funny thing?
Go on.
Zayn was saying, you guys paid all that money for basically an £80 million Mustafi.
Yeah, but we didn't.
I know, it's a joke, but still.
I know, and it is a good joke, but I was talking to somebody earlier. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a clinical psychologist, and I needed to pick his brains on this. And he just said to me, Terry, you've done videos on it before. Just keep going and researching. The most important thing here, what you see with football fans, is confirmation bias, but it's predicated by something called an availability heuristic, which is availability bias, essentially. And the way availability bias works, and I'll just show everyone a picture of it, and it's so interesting. When you look at it, again, if you already know what it is, I'm sorry if I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but when you look at it, it's basically how football banter works on social media. The problem is with it, and the real problem with it is, it isn't the banter element. It's more the people that take it seriously, like it's real, and then they use it. And he sent me this picture, and I'm just trying to find it now. When I read it, I saw the picture. I was like, right, that's clever. It's smart, and it just literally said to me the whole way through. That's so. I now can't find it because there we go. They've got it. So let me share this on the screen. And I read it, and I was like, that's literally, I mean, absolutely, quite literally, what social media is. So if you see this image here, it says all information is a big blue circle. But then information you use to make a decision is here. And it's recent, frequent, extreme, vivid, negative. And I read those things and I just thought to myself, that is quite literally social. That is how social media works. It's for instance, Maguire, it's vivid that he marked his own player because everyone's pushing it everywhere. It's frequent because everybody's slagging him off. It's recent because everyone's doing it every day. And then it's always negative, and people draw decisions on it as opposed to looking. So someone said, I gave the ball away so much again the other day. So I went and did the research against this Chelsea game. For 7 Man United players, some of which had only been on the pitch 30 minutes, gave the ball away twice as many times as he did. But no one's focusing on that because it isn't where their attention is being drawn to, as an example. And I think that's where everyone in football, I was saying to a friend of mine earlier on social, I said, if we're bantering each other, I'm cool with that kind of stuff. But if we're having a real serious football chat, I'm not about that. I'm about talking about things objectively, and people don't like objective truths. They just want to look at the facts that support and push them. We're going to throw some more people into this stream.
Let me ask you this though, as a neutral, do you see Arteta building something positive?
Yes, you can see it. Again, if I put the banter aside and stop bantering for a second, I can see the embers of something starting to, if you light a fire and you can see it go, that fire is going to catch on and engulf, but it's there. There is something. But what it needs is the air and the fuel collectively from the owners to make it set ablaze. He has now set a foundation very quickly to say, this is what we want to do. You've got a manager that can be versatile in how his team plays, depending on the opponents that are in front of him. That is imperative, absolutely imperative when you're building from almost relative nothingness, if that makes sense. We're going to throw some more people into the stream now anyway. Stay on the line now, mate. We want to keep you here. We'll be back. We'll be back in a few moments. Yes, everyone. I've added the same guy twice, actually. There we go. How's it going, boys? You all good?
Yeah, man. I'm great, man. Villa, I'm so happy. I'm so happy they're doing it. Obviously, from Birmingham team, they're surviving, or hopefully they're surviving last day of the season. So I'm not even here to banter Arsenal. I'm just happy Villa won. Like, that's it. That's it, man.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And look, we'll talk Villa a bit because I think it's important too. Jackie Grealish had, for me tonight, again, do you know what I like about Jackie Grealish doing well? He's another one of these English players who is just consistently attacked because he's English, purely because of his nationality, overrated, overspoken about. He isn't that good. His team's in relegation, blah, blah, blah. All this craziness. People forget, like, Robertson was relegated once upon a time, but now look at he's doing it. Liverpool. Guy's a baller. I watched him tonight. Best player on the pitch, including all the Arsenal players. And for me, could be in the match day squads of every single top 6 team and in the first teams of at least half of them.
The thing is, he plays on the left, though, of that attack. He wouldn't play in the left for Man United, Arsenal, Man City.
He can play centre. He can play centre as well. He's played centre mid for Villa in a 4-4-3 on the left-hand side. He's played cam for Villa during parts of the season as well. And then obviously on the left. So he's very versatile, and that's what we need. We're not looking for him to come and take Rashford's spot, but like when we need cover or when we need to change it up a bit, Jack Grealish is a different option to a Rashford, to a Martial, to a Greenwood. So like he would be a great addition to Man United squad.
There's a comment here I want to pick up on. Sorry, we're just going off subject.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, we have to respect the super chats. 0 shots on target versus Villa. Arteta is finished tactics. I don't know what he quite means by that. Are outdated, Terry, or is that only applied to Jose? Let me just say, because you're addressing me in that. I've always said that I didn't want Jose's tactics at Man United, but I've never claimed his style or his systems are out of date. I've claimed he is. It's his attitude that will never make him a top manager again. I've always said the style of play, if you want to use, and I don't care if you want to call it park the bus, pragmatic, low block, 2 solid banks of 4. I don't care the phrase. I don't care the kind of, whether you want to use a pejorative or whether you want to use a positive description of it. I don't care. Jose's system isn't the problem. Jose Mourinho is. Said that many times before. Go on. You're about to say something. Sorry, Gal.
Yeah, I think that's unfair. You can't.
So I was just going to say that.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that. Like, Arsenal fans shouldn't be disappointed because, like, you shouldn't get overhyped by the FA Cup result. That's the problem with fans. They get too reactionary, too fickle. Arsenal fans like be kind of deflated, kind of like over exaggerate what's going on just to see how it is. It comes progressing, just like Man United and Chelsea are. And don't take the result too harshly. This is what happens when people are overhyped things and it doesn't meet their expectations. And they're disappointed after. So I don't think you should be like too done by. Like you're not going to finish in the top 6 because it's quite poor. That's why people shouldn't overhype the win, Chelsea and City and Liverpool, because you have to see where you're at and be realistic about expectations for the future.
Zane, I respect the super chat as ever, bro. I always do. I don't get it.
I knew it. I thought that was just me. I was seeing the video.
I don't even get the joke. I kind of imagine if it was about oil tankers, I could kind of get that. Maguire slow, turn slowly. Yeah, explain that to me, bro. You don't have to super chat it to me to explain it, but explain that to me. No, I get your point on that, mate. I really do. We're going to throw a few more people into the stream now. We're going to throw in. We got Brian in the house. What's happening, bro? David in the house. David, did you see anything in Arsenal's team tonight that makes you worried as a Chelsea fan for that final in 2 weeks?
It's never about that. Like, these performances, they're always weird, and then in the final, they're sharp and do something. That's normally what happens.
David knows. Arsenal's played him in 3 finals. I think we won 2 of them.
Yeah, we've played them. Yeah, we've never beaten Arsenal in an FA Cup final.
Yeah, but you never played an Arsenal as bad as this.
Nah, I'm telling you, Arsenal judge is happening in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I think Arsenal will win it just because it's. Do you know what it is? And do you know, from a banter point of view, I want Arsenal to win it from the sense of, you know, like when Wenger was on his way out, winning the FA Cups kept him down because it enabled Wenger to kind of hang on. And I know that winning an FA Cup will raise expectations a little bit too high. And although I'm praising Arteta, that's that's this kind of objective me. The subjective emotional rival fan wants the expectations to rise too quickly. So the fans switch quickly and he gets pulled away. Why? Because you don't want managers who have got the potential to make them into a great team staying. Why would you?
There's a bigger story than that, Terry, that you're missing. If Tottenham finish 7th and we finish where we are and we still win the FA Cup, they're out of Europe and we take their spot.
Yeah, but do you really want Europe? Do you want Europe?
Europa League. So that actually means you're doing. So you need to lose the final. But no. Because Chelsea are going to be. If Chelsea finish in the top 4, even if you make the final, you get the spot anyway.
What do you mean?
Because if you're in the final, if you lose the final with the FA Cup, but the team that wins it is already in the Champions League, the Europa League place goes to the finalists, doesn't it not?
No, it doesn't. No, Watford didn't get Europa League.
I think they changed it. It used to.
Oh, they used to. Fair enough. I didn't know about that law change. There we go. Yeah. So I guess an interesting one. And I was asking some Adam that in the studio the other day. I was like, you don't want the Europa League, so do you not want to win the FA Cup? Which I think is a fair question.
You always want to win a trophy. It does, even if it means you're in the Europa League. It just shows you that no one cares about the Europa League. It's to the point where people are trying not to get into it. If you talk to Burnley fans, they'll tell you they don't want to be in Europa League. If you talk to a lot of clubs that are like fighting to get in that 7th spot, some of them are saying they'd rather finish 8th and not get into Europa League.
Well, it depends. It depends if the Europa League is important when you need it. So if you're Arsenal, United, or Chelsea, or Wolves, and you want Champions League and you miss out, Europa League's your key in there. So it's only irrelevant when you don't need it. As soon as you need it, it's one of the best competitions in the world. Like
elite. Sorry, we're going to go to Bryant in a minute. We're being called out again, 3rd time by this guy now. I mean, I did respond. So I don't really know what to say. But yeah, he's calling you a hypocrite as well. So I thought I'd give you the opportunity to reply.
Yeah, bro. I've said that Jose, he's a finished manager. He is finished, and his tactics that he does, Sean Dyche do it better, and Wilder do it better. So where's that? How's that me saying that his tactics are outdated? I said he's outdated, and that's what it is. I just don't think he's a manager for the top level anymore, and that's okay, bro. I'm trying to help you here. You're infected by Jose's virus, and I'm the antibody, fam. So give you a few more months. You'll start to see that this is going downhill. And then you'll be seeing the light. So don't worry. Thank me later.
Is he comparing Arteta to Jose's tactics?
No,
that's completely unfair.
No, it's not what he's saying. What he's pointing at is that we've said that Jose's finished at the highest level, in our opinion. He's saying that, but basically, you praised Arteta for playing, let's just say, pragmatic football, pass the bus football, low block football. I don't want to get into the detail of it. He's now saying, but why are you praising Arteta for doing it and saying it works, but for Jose it's finished? And it's never been about the system. It's been about the manager who's applying it. But he's getting himself wrong. What I just want to say as well, Elite KJ, before we go to Brian, welcome to the Baldy Club, mate. It suits you. I'm glad to see you like twins, bro. I'm liking that, brother.
Let's go.
Brian, so you're a United fan. You got no dog in this race tonight. What did you want to say, mate?
Yeah, it's a good result for a struggling Aston Villa side. I know that if Jack Grealish was looking for a way out of Villa, he would need to put on some performances. I know that I was actually kind of disappointed in the way that he played against Manchester United. I don't think he really showed a whole lot. In the game, I thought Aston Villa in stages were pretty good. He was pretty out of the game. That wasn't the case tonight. He was good. So it just shows the quality that he has and everything. And even in Arsenal at the minute, I mean they are a bit of a yo-yo team in a way. In the same way that Manchester United and Chelsea are a bit of a yo-yo team too, right? Like there's nothing really solidified of where these teams are going to be in the next 12 to 18 months. And so there's nothing stable there right now because there's still a lot of things that are in flux with Arsenal. But they do have a manager there now that is instilling an identity and the style and the system in the team that will benefit them going forward. So I think that these results are going to come because of the stage that the team's in right now. I mean, you just have to take it on the chin and just trust what Arteta's doing.
Yeah, it's interesting, really, because there's been so much, Man United fans especially have been in the last 24 to 36 hours. I haven't seen anything like it in a while. But if you look at everybody's run of form since the return, I think what needs to be taken into consideration is the volume of games in the short space of time. And there's almost been no time for teams to even train. It's just been match recovery. And I think that's the element for me that needs to be taken into consideration. But we've got Josh here. Josh is a Tottenham fan. You just seen Arsenal lose again. They're sitting 10th. Whatever happens with the FA Cup, it must be nice to see the once mighty Arsenal, the kings of North London, quite literally, and we have to say this for a bit of banter now, a bit of banter time. You are literally the mid-table team.
Yeah, I got one thing to say in this. Remember that old thing they used to sing to us? It's happened again. It's happened again. Woolwich Arsenal, it's happened again. It keeps happening now. We're finishing above them their defense used to be, keep doing it for a few years and then you'll be the bigger team. But every year we're finishing above them cleanly. And this is when we've been so poor this season. This is with Jose the dinosaur. This is with Poch failing. We were 14th. They were 5th when we were 14th. And we tried so hard to finish below them and we just couldn't. We couldn't. They're that shit. In my opinion, I know everyone's coming on and saying that everyone's saying, Arteta's got an identity, a style. And I've got to be honest, I do see it. But there's one thing that I can rely on with Arsenal, and that's number one, they're not going to back him properly, especially during, the period that we're going into now. And that's number two, that the fans do not have the patience to let someone build a philosophy. If you look at Poch when he first came in, we were terrible, He was one Aston Villa result away from getting the sack. Harry Kane scored a free kick in the last minute. He was going to get the sack. That's what everyone was reporting in our first season. I can't see the kind of results I know you're getting results against Liverpool and City. Oh, sorry, one sec. TV just came on really loud. But
Boy, I'm telling you, 5G fam, 5G is happening, bro.
Bruv, it's judgment day, bruv. It's judgment day. Josh, you're being called out now. Zayn is on you, bro.
Zayn, you madman.
Is on you. Josh, you are renting out your trophies out when you do stadium tours. He goes basically asking, do you want to rent Arsenal's trophies for stadium tours? Is that a fair point? I want to ask this to I'm not going to come to you on this because you're a goon. I'll come to you last on this. Are Tottenham a better club? We know historically Arsenal are bigger. They've won more trophies. It's not even a debate. But when it comes to the last, say, 5 years, the fact that Tottenham are consistently finishing in front of Arsenal, are Tottenham still Are they been over the last 5 years the better team in North London, or because Arsenal have picked up trophies and got to more finals, does that still keep them ahead of it? Where do you sit as rivals, but you're mutual to the North London argument? What do you say, KJ? Who's been the better team in the last 4 or 5 years, Tottenham or Arsenal?
I'll say as a team, I would probably say Spurs have been a better team. It just the style of play has been better, and I think they've had more. They've pushed the title holders harder than I think Arsenal have over recent years. So I would say Spurs.
How about yourself, Dave?
Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute, bro.
Can't hear
No,
you.
you're not mute because can't hear you. Oh, 5G, bro. Honestly,
Yeah, 5G, bro.
It's a
Brian,
problem.
how about yourself, man? How about yourself?
Oh, it's tough because I honestly feel like it would be easy to say that Spurs have been better because they genuinely had nowhere to go but up, in a lot of ways. But Arsenal, I think Arsenal in the last 5 years, he still made it to more finals, won more trophies.
Well, it's not hard because we've won none.
Right? Yeah, one more trophy. And I think Spurs have made it to one final. I think they made it to, in the last 5 or so years. I think they made it to the champion, but it's a Champions League final. Huge.
Yeah,
right?
and the League Cup final as well.
Yeah, and the League Cup final. Yeah, and so I kind of feel like Arsenal are still able to hang on to that history that brought them to this point. Spurs did have a really good 5 or so years under Poch, and then he didn't get back properly, and you saw it all fall apart. And I think that ultimately Arsenal, their resources and I think their history are going to benefit them a lot more. I still think Arsenal's a bigger club, despite how well Spurs have played over the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Wait,
Can
boys,
I
can you
jump
hear me
in on
now?
this now?
Yeah, go on, Agal. Yeah, I want your opinion, bro.
Okay. Tottenham have last year, when you look at last year, you're talking about you finished above us by so much points, this, that. Last year, you only finished above us by 1 point.
I never said so much points.
What I genuinely
we
think
finished
Tottenham have ahead of Arsenal, you guys have a squad of players who are valued at more. When you look at the players' value, you have a squad of players that are possibly, you could say, are better because they've been around with each other for a while. And you have
But you spent more money on your players, You spent way more money on your players.
Yes, we have. We pay more. We pay more for our players. We don't treat them like scum, and we don't keep them around and get rid of them for nothing. Like Toby Alderweireld. No. I'm sorry. I'm not attacking you, Josh, but I'm keeping it serious. I'm keeping it real.
What do you mean?
I'm keeping it real.
I ask you a question. I've got to interject here. What do you mean you don't? Who doesn't treat them like scum? The fans.
No, listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the way Daniel Levy treats his players. Almost, it's good business on his part, but the way he treats his players is actually terrible.
Kroenke's the same thing. Kroenke's the same thing.
No, you don't.
Explain what you mean by that, Agal. Explain what you mean by he treats them like scum. I'd love to know.
Okay, think about what he did with Toby Alderweireld and Vertonghen with the contract situations. In addition to all the other players, our players, even if they're running down their contracts on their own, these guys they're just not getting contracts.
Your club does the same thing as Spurs.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and Toby Alderweireld has a contract. He's paid 150 grand a week. I don't know what. I don't see what we're doing wrong there.
Nah, man, you guys are literally. I don't know. You guys are literally finding a way to cheat the system.
He just hates you.
Who's cheating this?
Okay, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. My main point was.
I'll let you do your point in a minute.
Okay.
You're saying, are you wearing a tinfoil hat under that hood, bro? What you cheating? What system, bro? You sound like a conspiracy. What are you?
Okay.
5G, fam. 5G.
When it comes to matching competitive wages, Tottenham do not match competitive wages.
Yes, because they have a wage structure.
My point was.
Yeah, they have a structure in place that they refuse to break.
Yes. So my point is, when Arsenal, when players choose a club, they're always going to choose Arsenal because Arsenal are going to match the wages of the higher clubs. Where Tottenham will try to always make sure that you're on a lower wages.
But why does that mean people like scum? I don't get that.
Yeah, it
I'm
doesn't.
just-
And also, if that's the truth, then why have your signings been so terrible compared to ours? Like
You've had two of
like,
the
we-
worst
it's not
signings
like we
this
haven't
season.
signed anyone
Undembele,
great.
you keep talking about Pepe, but Undembele's nothing. He's done nothing, mate. People keep talking about Pogba. The only
No.
reason why no one talks about Undembele on the media is because, bro, let's be real. Tottenham are a
He's
small
been
club,
injured
and people
most
don't
of the
talk
time
about.
and he hasn't played.
Let's be real,
That's
bro.
the
The guy is your
That's the truth.
your club
I'm not
record
defending
signing.
him. I'm not defending him. I'm not saying that he's amazing or anything like that. But I'm saying you can't compare him to Pepe, who plays every week and was doing fuck all.
But
for the
Pepe
first
has
half of the
17
season.
goal involvements. What has Undembele done? Willock has more goal involvements.
Wait, who's
No,
got who's
what, then
wait, who's the
Ndombele?
second? Who's the
What has
second signing?
Ndombele done,
Ndombele's
mate?
got like one sec, get the stats up because Ndombele's got like
Willock
I
has
think he's
5
got,
goals
like,
this season. What has Undembele done?
You know what
he's
this whole
been
thing is?
involved in like 8 goals.
I just keep letting him go. I'm loving
Come
this.
on,
Keep
man.
going, boys.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
This
man.
is the-
Your
this is the
record
Spider-Man
signing,
meme,
you're
boys.
comparing him to Willock. Your record signing, you're comparing him to Joe Willock. Come on, mate.
You just compared him. You just compared
I-
him. Come on,
I'm
calm
telling
down,
you.
bro.
I'm telling you.
No,
you
you're
got,
just
you guys.
rattled. That's all it
You
is.
guys. No one's
because
rattled. I'm telling you the
what I
truth.
was
I'm telling you
saying
the
is
truth.
true, innit?
Arsenal
this
are having
summer,
their
your
worst
club is
season in
not gonna back
history,
your
and they're
manager,
still in the FA Cup final and
and your
possibly winning a
fans
trophy.
aren't
You
gonna
guys had your
deal
best run in
with a
history
new
and
philosophy
didn't win
manager.
nothing.
They're gonna
In
be
the history
Arsenal
books, it
fan
will say
TV,
Arsenal won 3
Arteta
FA
out
Cups,
next season,
possibly 4,
and we know
in
where
a
it's
time period
going.
where
You're
we
a
had our
Fanta
worst
club.
records.
We know where it's
What
going
have you
with your
done,
club.
mate? What?
Everyone knows where it's going with your club. At least I know where I'm coming from. I'm coming from mediocrity. In when you're talking about the 90s and the 2000s, that's what Spurs were. Do you understand? So
He said it. I didn't have to say it.
I'm not here saying, oh, you're living in a time. You're living in a time where you think that Arsenal are, like should be challenging, but
Bro.
you're the mid-table club now. You finished below us for the past 4 seasons.
Okay.
Like-
What did you get though? What did you benefit from that 4 seasons? You got a new stadium. That's it, mate.
To be fair,
I
they
get to
don't
talk
have
to
the
rattle
Tories
gooners
anymore.
like you.
Nah.
Well, listen, this whole
Let me keep it
argument-
real.
With their
We could
tinfoil
possibly
hats
win
on.
4 trophies in a 6-year span where you guys are better than us.
Decade, man, it's been a decade.
And you're happy with that, are you? You're happy?
No,
with
but
your
what
FA
have you
Cup?
won, mate?
What FA
You
Cup?
don't. What have you won?
I'm fine. I'm okay.
No, but
I'm
how
okay
are you
with
fine
that.
with not winning nothing?
I'm
Football's
fine
about
because I
coming
was
home with
happy
something at the
watching
end of
my
the day.
team. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm coming from a place where Tottenham weren't a big club. Do you understand? We've only become in the top 6 in the past 10 years. Like that's the truth.
Arguably, I
But
don't know if you're still.
when you see how your club has fallen, I know that it hurts you more. You can win as many FA Cups as you want, but you're nowhere near a Premier League title. That's the truth.
That's true, but where are you? Are you close to a Premier League title either? No, you're not.
Oh, I think that we're going to finish above you next season. Cleanly.
Okay, but that's your title.
playing
That's your
dinosaur
title.
football,
We're going for the
we'll
FA
probably
Cup.
get
We're
top
going
four.
for.
Gal, may I just say, you are aware for like 20 years, Arsenal had St. Tottering's Day. That was like a trophy as well. The fact that you finished above.
Exactly.
No, that just came out of nowhere.
Thank
that
you,
just always came.
Thank
That was like a bus. That was like a bus. It would just keep coming.
Yo, Dave, just
Listen, guys. On a serious note, the hate for Tottenham and Arsenal between each other is real. But one thing I'll tell you is, at the end of the day, if you look back at the record books, they're gonna have their best seasons in history, and they're not gonna win nothing. Arsenal's gonna have their worst seasons in history, and they're gonna have 4 FA Cups to show for it.
Shall I tell you something?
You know what this whole argument is?
I get that, but I'm
Look,
still.
look.
Go on, Josh.
Look,
The thing is out.
basically, shall I tell you what the problem is? Yes, you've won more cups than us. Yes, you're a bigger club than us, like worldwide reach, everything like that. We were little Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? We were like, we used to get slapped by you all the time, all through the 90s, everything. But the thing is, not only have we started finishing above you, we've now got a stadium where we're making more money than you. We've now got a bigger European reach. Like we've reached the Champions League final only last season. We are talked about among Europe's elite. Unlike you, like people don't talk about you like that anymore. Like when you're looking at players that are like big players that are linked, they link them with us and not you. Like you're screaming over Party, like what? And you're still not going to sign him.
No, but who's linked to you?
My point is that we are on a bigger trajectory than you. Like that's the
but
truth.
but who's linked to you? We have Thomas Partey, Upamecano linked to us. Who's linked to you? We're talking about links now. Seriously?
We've been linked with them. We've been linked with them same players. It's not about that. What I'm trying to say is that you don't hold the same like name that you used to, and a lot of your fans are deluded, thinking that you're like on a better trajectory than us. We make more money than you now. Listen.
You know what this whole argument
But you don't
is?
spend it. You don't.
Yo, you
spend
know
it.
what this whole
Let's
argument
be
is?
real.
You know that Spider-Man meme
What?
where it's the two Spider-Man just pointing at each other?
Yeah.
This is what this argument is, man.
The funny thing is,
Come on.
coming from a Chelsea fan, if you guys were as good as us, you wouldn't have this argument. Like, let's be real, London is blue now, all right? Let's not lie. The whole of
Oh,
London is blue.
Dave has entered the ring.
Oh, no.
North London, right? North
no.
London.
Why? Because
If anything, North London is red, but it's red with Bayern Munich. Okay, let's not lie. When Bayern Munich show up in North London, they slap you man about. It's red, but it's Bayern Munich. The rest of London is probably blue when they do it at Chelsea. Let's not lie. Right, Tottenham over the past 5 years have been a better team than Arsenal. I don't know what else to say. Like they've been consistently finishing above.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say about that, the way I would look at it is just two ways. Arsenal definitely won more trophies as an element of banter there. But the league is the ultimate barometer of who the best is. You know, when Man United finished third this season, David, I need you to say, Terry, Man United are better than us this year. Like, I need you to say that.
100%, no problem.
It's the barometer. We're going to win the next 2 games. You'll lose to Liverpool tomorrow. I've already had a chat with Klopp. He's going to sort that right out. And then we move on from there. You know what I'm really looking forward to from a fan point of view? I let Arsenal fans gas all summer, all throughout early previews. They had a better squad, better manager, better summer in the transfer window than us. And I said, I know that DT and I know these guys are going to come back out and admit this. The only one that will do it will be Devo. The only guy that will do it is Devo. You feel full banter. He'll admit it. But I was like, so and Adam, I was like, if you guys finish below Man United in the league, then you have to admit that you're totally embarrassed if you've got a better manager, better squad, and a better summer. And not only are you finishing behind us, we're finishing third. You finished 10th. It's amazing. It's honestly, and
It's not over. It's not over. You can still lose to Leicester.
the league's over. We're not losing, right? We're back, baby. We're back. We lost the other day. Chelsea. We're back. We're back. And I am not allowing.
Clip this when you lose to Leicester.
If you lose to West Ham tomorrow, it's going to be amazing.
Whoa. We're back, baby. Avengers. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. Clip it. It's fine.
No, man. West Ham did everything they needed to do against Watford. They're showing up. They're showing up halfway on the beach.
When
Antonio was scoring 4
aka
goals.
R9, shows up to Old Trafford or wherever it is tomorrow.
There you go. You can't be speaking in big man talk. 7th and above only. Be quiet.
Honestly,
man,
I think North London will be decided when one of you two wins the European trophy. It's that simple. You man, I don't know what you guys are doing.
That'll be
And to be fair, in that time,
that'll be us
You're
next
lost.
year. You're
in that time, Dave's club
You're
won
lost.
both as well. So
Do you know what I was
Yeah.
thinking about? He'll be back in a minute. I think his signal went.
Yeah, Charles.
I think what's interesting about Tottenham under Jose, I think they could actually win the. I think they could actually go on a
Toto
win
Cup.
next year with him
the Audi Cup.
as an example. I think they could. All right, Sonny, come back. I want to get you on, bro. Sonny looked like he was on that. Sonny, get yourself back into that waiting area right about now, boy. I want to get you on. I want to get you on. So I'm having to kick a few people out right now. I need Josh to come back. I need Sonny to come back on because that'll be an interesting conversation. David, you were a team with no history before the Russian came.
I love the tears, bro. Why we won more? We won more than you. We won every trophy we can. You still haven't won champs. All right, come on.
Okay, yeah.
Sonny is back with us here. How you doing, Sonny?
Yes, Sonny.
I don't know where Josh has gone.
Sonny's here.
Back on this because I'm. Eddie, what you saying, bro? Sonny, you there?
Can't hear you.
5G again. It's back.
Yo, Dave.
Yeah.
Did you just say Chelsea have won everything they can win?
Yeah, we basically won apart from Club World Cup.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you haven't won everything. United's the only team. United's the only team in England.
Bro. No one cared about that trophy till this year.
All I'm saying is United's the only team in England to win every club competition possible, bro.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but United's
sorry, guys.
something
I'm
else.
just trying to get.
Again, are you talking still? I told you,
No,
big man
I was
talk
giving you a
only.
compliment.
One
Chill
sec.
out.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah, compliments are welcome.
Guys, one sec.
Oh my God, KJ.
Guys, 1 sec for me, please. I'm trying to talk here. Sonny, can we hear you yet? Try and talk again, mate.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now, mate. What's your thoughts on the conversation that Igal and Josh have just been having?
I've only enjoyed it. You know, to be honest with you, I got so sick of the game, I stopped watching it. Sort of 3/4 of the way through. I called it yesterday on our preview. I said we're going to lose because I said as soon as we come up against a team who's going to sit back against us, we're not going to find a way to break them down because we're not very good. And talking about who's the best team out of Arsenal, Spurs over the last 5 years, it's been Spurs. Spurs has been the best team by a long way. It's not even close.
Oh, sorry.
Wait. Sorry, say that again for the people at the back.
Oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, say that again.
It's Spurs been better than Arsenal for the last 5 years.
Now,
Sonny's a real guy.
Now, Igal, fight your corner. Fight amongst yourselves. Go.
Nah, but Sonny, how are you gonna say that when we won more than them?
I'll tell you why, right? FA Cup don't really count, yeah. And Spurs getting to a Champions League final changed that, bruv. It put them on that level. So you have to say it as it is. It is what it is.
At least he's honest.
I agree.
It is what it is. And if you take two clubs now, and which one's going to probably move forward, it's going to be Spurs because one, you got a better stadium than us. You've got probably the best stadium in nearly probably in the world. Your fans are still shit club, but no, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But obviously, team-wise, your team is worth a lot more money. So you sell the Arsenal team, Spurs sell the Tottenham team. You're selling the Arsenal team at Dagenham Market, and you're selling the Spurs in Sotheby's. Because your players are worth money, and that's the thing. And it's when you let Saint rot, eventually, if you get cut on your leg and you leave it, get gangrene. Back in the old days, they chopped your leg off. And that's where we are at the moment. We've got one leg. It doesn't matter how you want to gloss it up, how you want to go back 15 years, 20 years, go back however many years you want. It's what's going on today, and that's the only thing what counts.
Yeah, and I kind of get that. And look, there's banter to be had and stuff like that. I just sort of feel like it's a bit of a who's the tallest dwarf competition, who's got the biggest micro penis, whatever it may be. That's kind of how it feels right now. You're not doing what us big boys at the top are doing. Do you get what I mean? The Chelsea and United boys in here, we're getting ourselves back in the top 4.
Forget United, Till. United can't even come into that equation because
we can't. We're there.
You're not even bridesmaids, bruv. You're like the bridesmaids' mate. You're not up there.
Wait, what was that? I can't hear you, Sonny. Sonny, I can't hear you. I can't hear you from so down there. I can't hear you from all the way down there, bro. Hand the ladder a bit. And I'll be able to hear you, man.
Look, the only two teams got to be classed up there, right? Serious talk is Man City and Liverpool. Everyone else.
Excuse me. Right. The team that we're assembling, I know it's going to take time to gel. But
yeah, it's going to take time, David.
The quality of those players. No. But I'm not. I know that. I'm not. Like, next season, I've said I'm not expecting to win the league, but I expect us to be good enough to take the time to gel and still finish comfortably in the top 4. Maybe even challenge. But I think we're getting close to being in that bracket of that top 3. I think we're getting close.
You know what? I agree with you, bro. But you know what? Because when you buy high quality players, the chances are they're going to gel quickly because they can all play football and they should gel. When you buy potential, that potential is sometimes never fulfilled. I mean, Arsenal Spurs were like at the moment. Aston going out to the cup, we both bought 3 dogs. You stink. And one says mine stinks less than yours. We're not in the race, bro. We're not in the race, bro. We're going out to Camden, and Man U and Chelsea are right there, bro. No, we're not in that race.
No, I hear that. You're not there. You boys are behind. I know Ghostwriter's not involved anymore. He kind of messaged me the other day saying thanks for letting me on. He said it was a social.
He turned into a ghost fam. That's happened to him.
But yeah, like Arsenal a couple of years behind where Man United are right now. There's no doubt on where Chelsea are, and that isn't about Arteta being behind it's more to do with the fact that you're just starting all over again. Ollie had that 6 months ahead last year. We had some great players at the club. You don't, outside of Aubameyang getting towards the end of his career, you don't have attacking talent like Man United do, like who's sitting by the main road.
What do you think? The guy with the toilets.
I let Rams cut his hair off.
Oh, you got a trim? The trim?
That's the trim you was on about, bro.
You know what?
I told you, literally looked at my feet. I told him to get it real short. Because I hate
Very suited, bruv. You look like G, bruv. I'll go as far as to say, I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league again in my lifetime. And I know I'm older than you guys, right? I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league again in my lifetime. And I can't see Arsenal won't ever do anything in the Champions League, ever. Not if we get qualified, we'll qualify one day. Yeah. They won't ever do anything in the Champions League.
Wait, does that mean you're going to go longer than Liverpool? You're going to go longer than Liverpool?
Well, they're already at 16.
Bro, if it happens to Liverpool, right, who were a bigger club than Arsenal, right? A bigger club than Arsenal, why can't it happen to Arsenal? You know? Let's be real.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal. I was chatting to a mate of mine the other day. He's a big gooner, but he sort of wouldn't ever go on camera. I've tried to get him on so many times, and he feels like Arsenal are going in the same direction as sort of the Nottingham Forest of this world, who of course didn't win as many league titles, but you know, you kids on here won't remember how good Nottingham Forest were for a period of time. Like they won back-to-back Champions League titles.
Ram does.
Ram knows all about them, man.
Terry, is it crazy to say that Arsenal could get relegated in 10, 15 years?
Leeds United sort of thing.
You know what's interesting? I think that what happens, and again, Arsenal fans always push back again. They've got a lot of money, so you would argue no. But if you'd have said 5 years ago, 6 years ago, would you say in 5, 6 years Arsenal would be finishing 10th? Everybody would have said no. And I think that there's this element of like, there's only so many times you can keep having a go at it, and it could get worse. The one thing you say about Liverpool, even in all those years of failing in the Premier League, they still spent big. They still actually went out and spent a lot of money and like they were up until Chelsea and City's money. They were the second highest spenders, like behind Man United, and up until about a year or so into past Fergie's era, they spent more than Man United in the Premier League era. So Liverpool have always done that and kept themselves in and around the fight. But Arsenal isn't just about not spending at times. It's not buying the right players. It's things being wrong. I don't know about relegation, but if it doesn't work with Arteta, and then you have the Newcastles, the Leicesters, the Wolves coming through, Spurs are now at the races. You've got City and Chelsea that have already joined in. It may not be a necessity, literally they'll get relegated, but you might just find there are 8 or 9 clubs that are just run better and are better than Arsenal, and they simply can't penetrate. Do you get what I mean?
I'm not saying it'll be immediate, but like, it's been 16, 17 years without a league title. They've been out of Champions League now for 3, 4 seasons. Yeah. Look, it's a gradual decline. Like they now can't say they're. I mean, you could say that have money from Kroenke, but they don't spend money, or they don't spend it correctly.
We also got to take into account that there'll be also teams coming up from the Championship all every year, so there'll be at least
like
3 teams.
Newcastle.
It's not just that, because what's happening with Arsenal when they lose a player of quality, they're losing them for next to nothing or for nothing, right? And when they do get given the money, all they're doing is trying to replace like for like. So they're never actually putting anything extra into it. We're just trying to replace what we lost through mismanagement from upstairs, you know.
Yeah, and as I say, I feel like I don't know if they get relegated. I think that's a push because they're just a little bit too big in this modern day era for that to happen.
Yeah, but it's the same with Leeds and Newcastle and Nottingham Forest.
No, see, the era is different. Newcastle and Leeds have never been as big as Arsenal, in my opinion. They got relegated. Arsenal will make it. There's too much money now. So ever since the new TV money came in, and you're talking about 100, you got to remember Bournemouth, they're going to get relegated. But 4 years in the Premier League, Bournemouth have got more money than they're a bigger club financially than people like Benfica, who have got a genuine tapestry of history. So you spend 3 or 4 years in the Premier League, unless you spend it all on players, which Bournemouth haven't done, you're a super rich club. So Arsenal will never go down, not for 20, 30 years for me. However, breaking back into the top 6, breaking back into the top 4 is going to be so difficult. And when you had Newcastle's takeover that's going to go through any moment now, and the fact that they're probably going to relax financial fair play for at least 2 or 3 years, if not scrap it altogether, Newcastle inside 2 or 3 years will be competing with everybody because they will step big. They'll bring in the right managers and they'll do it right. So I just find that, and again, people say, "Oh, you're Man United, you might not be there," and maybe we won't be. But if the questions about Arsenal, my view is quite simple. That
but at least the mentality will be. The mentality and the drive will be there from Man United and Chelsea. City, Liverpool.
So again, the times might change. You never know how the land lies. But if Arsenal continue in this trajectory they're in, they're not going to make it back into that top 6 anytime soon.
Is that right? Man U commercially, they're commercially they're the biggest team in the world, so they'll always have the money. So they will always. It's expected Man United as a world brand to be up there, so they will always be there or thereabouts. Right. With Leeds, I respect Leeds because even though they got mismanaged badly, at least they had the balls to go and put all of their eggs in that basket of trying to win the Champions League, trying to win the league, and they got close. They got so close, right? And all right, then they imploded because it didn't happen. But we've got to go for it. All you're going to expect is me. What will change?
No, I get that. I mean, what you got to remember about Leeds, I mean, you don't want to do what Leeds did. I mean, that's just one thing. I mean, they were still paying off Rio Ferdinand's transfer fee when Rio Ferdinand left Man United. So that's how much they owed on it and how they had to refinance money to pay it. So they had to borrow money from a bank.
Is that true?
Pay the debt. Yeah. It took them something like 10, 12 years to pay off just that debt because obviously they owed all this money.
Wow.
All collapsed, but they still owed the money. So they had to borrow the money from banks and creditors to pay off the clubs they owed money to. But of course, they put it over low interest payments over a long period of time. So it took ages to get that stuff paid off. It took a very long time anyway. So you don't want to do that, but at the same time, it's being right. And Agal said it earlier, and I make Agal right on this. It isn't just about backing Arteta with the money. It's about backing Arteta with who he wants to let go. So, and as fans backing him. So if Arteta turns around and says, this summer, we're getting rid of Leno, we're getting rid of, he won't get rid of Tierney, but Tierney, and we're getting rid of Aubameyang because they're not good enough for my system. Fans have got to do what they did with Wenger in his heyday, Fergie in his heyday, and go, all right, let's see what you got then. As opposed to thinking that we all know more than professional managers. Now, we should be assessing after the fact more often than we're assessing before the fact. And I feel like we've all become maybe a little bit, do you get where I'm coming from? You've got to give someone a bit of time. And not just.
I know what I'm talking about. You lot don't.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get that, bro. And I just feel like there's an element of let's just let some things play out because, 2.5 years into his reign, nobody thought Klopp was going to win much, including a lot of Liverpool fans. And look what he's doing now. I just think you've got to give people time to build something, but then also know when to let go. Because I reckon Bournemouth, hindsight's lucrative, but Bournemouth probably should have departed ways with Eddie Howe a year or so ago because you come to the end of your reign. Eddie Howe isn't suddenly a bad manager and Bournemouth suddenly aren't a bad club, but the relationship becomes stale. And there's knowing a time, having that time. When do you move on from these points? I think.
Yeah, like Sean Dyche at some point will have to move from.
He has to go now. Sean Dyche go now. Otherwise, it's going to go on too long, and then you're.
You could have said the same thing about.
Sorry, Prime, one sec. Go on, Flawless.
Yeah, I said, where's he going to go though? Where's Sean Dyche going to go?
Sheffield United when Chris Wilder moves on.
But that's a sideward step. That's a sideward step.
Yeah, I think Burnley's his ceiling. He's not going to a better club than Burnley.
Like you could have said the same.
No, but I think if you look, for instance, say he won't be there forever. Crystal Palace is a bigger club.
West Ham.
Everton.
There are clubs out there. Everton, if Ancelotti was to, I think there are bigger clubs. Tottenham. There are definitely bigger clubs than Burnley.
Burnley are bigger than Tottenham.
Yeah, but Terry, you also have to think about if he's moving to a club that also suits his ethos and his philosophy, where he will be given time at that big club. Like you look at David Moyes, he was sacked after 7-8 months. He wasn't given at least 2 or 3 years to build.
And thank God.
That's his level though.
No, I know, but that's my point. There's that risk of...
look, you only employ Sean Dyche if you're happy for that kind of football. And the one thing I would say is, like, Burnley seem to be happy with it. They're not like... Burnley's football ain't even that bad. Like, it's just, I think everyone's too addicted now to wanting to play beautiful football all day, every day. Look at this happened to Norwich. Like, for me, Norwich fans didn't enjoy this season. who get it right? Who's got it right is Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder plays the most perfect mix between Pep Guardiola style football and Allardyce football. It's the perfect mixture. He gets it right. And I think that's what some of these managers have got to learn. Don't try and be like, was it Wagner at Huddersfield trying to play like he's Pep or Klopp? What are you doing, bruv? You ain't going to do that with those players. What you've got to do is get the mixture right as an example. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
The thing is, Norwich can defend. That was the weird thing. Against United, they defended so well. Like, it was, they could do it.
You can't say they can defend on a one-off game.
It's a flash in a pan, bro. Flash in a pan. I know. Flash in a pan. Flash in a pan.
The standard of
Chelsea, do you need defenders?
Yes.
Yes, right, is the answer. But on Sunday against Man United, you defended amazingly.
That's true.
Fair point.
But it was a different system. It wasn't. No, but it was a different. It was a different system.
Our defensive structure was also brilliant in that game.
Yeah, and what did Norwich do in the game against us, which they haven't done against most teams this year? Instead of trying to attack us, they sat back and played low block. And if they'd have done, if Norwich would have played like that in the vast majority of their Premier League games this season, they may have stayed up, but they didn't. I remember opening game against Liverpool, they opened up, they cut Liverpool apart and it was like, oh, it's amazing. They come up from relegation. And most of us were sitting there going, yeah, but they're going to probably get 20 to 25 points and go down. And everyone's like, nah, they'll be fine. They play good football. Good football gets you through. It doesn't. It don't. Ask Poch.
You know, unless we pickpocket Chelsea in the cup final, right, and do what we've done for the previous two games, you know, the Mourinho-esque Atletico Madrid type of performance, we ain't beating Chelsea. You know, no way we ain't beating. If we open up against Chelsea, they're gonna hammer us.
Oh, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, Chelsea will do that. But you won't. You will play like you did. You will play like you did against Liverpool and City. Go on, Paulus. Zane's calling you out now.
Hey, Zane. Yeah, he's calling me out. Zane, what happened today, man? That's all I want to know. What happened today? Jan, please answer that. That's all I want to know.
At least United and Chelsea are...
Chelsea as well.
At least United and Chelsea are on the hunt for. At least United and Chelsea are on the hunt for Champions League football and trying to progress.
You know what? Yeah, I will give respect to Arsenal. I want to give respect to Arsenal.
No, we won't.
Wait. Let me finish. Because they're returning the FA Cup magic of the small battered team, the mid-table team coming up and going all the way to the final.
Hang on a minute. Do you know what, mate? I want Arsenal to win it. When was the last time a team outside the top four won the a mid-table team won the FA Cup? Like Arsenal. Arsenal are doing Wigan. Arsenal are doing Wigan. Round of applause.
Well done, guys.
Here's the thing. Sonny's on here, and I can't even give you smoke because you're a nice guy. I wanted to talk to you, Gala.
Give him smoke, fam. Give it to him.
A guy is the guy I want to go for. Sonny's too nice. No, I can't give you smoke. I can't give you smoke, Sonny. You're too nice.
He was waiting in the waiting area, but I didn't put him on because I need to chat with him before I bring him on. Claude was waiting in there.
Can I make last point and I'll go?
Now, there's too many of you on there to bring Claude on because I need to chat to him, and most of you don't let me finish a sentence, let alone Claude. So I was like, right, let me.
I just want to say, the Cup got devalued ever since the Cup Winners' Cup got dropped, in my opinion, because the Cup Winners' Cup was a good competition to win. So if it turned into Europa League, that's when they...
Yeah, the biggest mistake UEFA made is devaluing the secondary cups in terms of if they split the prize money, like if you put all the prize money for both competitions together and they made it like 70% of it was in the Champions League and 30% was in the Europa League or whatever you want to call it now, there would be a lot more hunger for those elements if the money was there, but they spread it too far. Does that make sense? It's too much, but
Terry, Elite Opinions is calling me out. He wants to come on. He wants to chat to me. I'm like, yo,
can't go, boys. I'm about to finish the stream.
Bro, before you do, he's calling me out saying the Avengers got pammed and blah, blah, blah. Why am I smiling? Because we lost. Fam, I'm smiling because I'm a happy guy. Listen, I'm not that kind of guy like you, fam, who starts crying for a whole week and disappears when your team loses. You know what I mean? On your birthday as well, fam. Don't be chatting to me about smiling, bro. Go learn how to enjoy life, fam.
You know the amazing thing about it is? The amazing thing about that is I'm disappointed at losing, but I'm not deterred. And just crazy. I've seen so much positivity from real Man United fans over the course. There's criticism, but so much positivity. People not throwing their toys out their pram. People not like switching. Some have. Some completely have, and that's cool for them. You know, I was watching Saeed on the United Stand the other night. One, big him up. He used the word Ollie's fluid football. I was laughing. I messaged Danny and KJ. Go, they're using fluid football. Everyone's using that phrase now. But even he was. And it's good. I think Man United fans can see something here. It's 1 loss in 20 games. We're going to win our next 2. We're going to finish 3rd, and we're going to do some bits in the Europa League. And then we're back next season. When, by the way, did you watch United Stand earlier? Big up the interview that Mark did over there with Christian Fuchs. Fuchs, I think that's how you pronounce it in German. It's pronounced some way like that. And yeah, like talking about 80 million plus a few add-ons, Man United should get it done. You could tell in the way he was talking, it's like the deal ain't far away. It's just going to take a few little bit of finessing. That's going to happen at the end of the season when Champions League football is secured. And yeah, can't wait. And just rivals faces when Sancho turns up, especially Ram. I reckon Ram's going to switch teams. You know, Ram just wants to do the Avengers. Ram just wants to do the Ram. Desperate.
Can I just say, have you got Zayn tied up somewhere in the basement, right? And someone's whipping the guy to make donations. Like Zayn is all on tonight. Big up yourself, Zayn, for supporting YouTube, brother. Love you, brother.
Yeah, Zayn, I told you before, Zayn, you need to send me a direct message because I need to get a big picture of you and put it up on the wall here.
Right, someone in the comments says Zayn's dad is Robbie.
He's putting another one.
Hang on. Yes, Zayn, we get you on, bro.
Yes.
On this channel, my guy. Whenever you interview. Send me a direct message on Twitter. One quick sec, guys. Send me a direct message saying on Twitter. We'll get you on. We'll do whether you want to come with everyone, whether you want to do an exclusive show, whatever it is. The only problem with him being on the show is that we're not going to get any super chats. But
no, don't worry. He's got a bot account.
I'm joking. There we go.
Zayn will be on there like a pimp. He'll have his white fur coat on. He'll have his magic stick.
Can you imagine if like you bring Zayn on and the screen comes up and it's like Mark Zuckerberg or
Zayn
oh my god, or just some ex-footballer like David.
It's Ty. If it would,
it's really true. His dad is like doing all them donations. Right? He's just trying to style it out.
yeah, exactly. It's actually just me. I donate to my own channel and I get the money back again. I just make it look like it's just me doing it, like paying myself.
I see you, Terry. Smart.
I know.
Smart.
I know. And then just do charge back to the bank. I won't, mate, with my son and get the money back.
Laurie said Zayn is safe in a mask.
It's safe in a muck. Can you imagine? I'd invite Zayn round for dinner then, though. That kind of dinner, bro. There we go. But boys, listen, I appreciate you all coming on and having your say. Actually, we've got one dude who's been trying to get him for a while. He's messaged. I'm going to put him on we're going to give him 5 minutes here. Kesh, AFC, what's going on, bro?
I'm good. First thing to say, yeah, cool. Arsenal's fallen off. I can admit that, yeah. It may take us as long as Liverpool adds to win the league. It may. Everyone's getting on Arteta's back, yeah? Cool. He's put players out there. It's not the same system that he's drilled for the Liverpool and Man City game. Xhaka's not in there. Tierney, come on, you've got Kolasinac in there. Tierney's a leader from the back. That's an example. Everyone's overreacting saying, oh, Arteta needs to get sacked, all of this. Bruv, this is what this fan base embarrasses.
Nonsense, man.
It's ridiculous. Like, calm down, behave, give him a chance to get better players in, so he can show you what this team can go forward and do. And as for that Spurs fan saying it's happened again, come on, yeah. When Arsenal was saying it happened again, we was in top 4. Like, we're both mid-table teams, and you want to sing that? Fucking embarrassing. Get out of
here. Where can we find you, bro?
Mate, I don't do Twitter. That you know, I come on your show. I don't do Twitter and all that. Yeah.
That's good, bro. That's I was talking to some youngsters the other day. I was chatting to. They were asking me about YouTube. I said, you know what? Like, I heard in the States now, the most popular kids at school are called what they call off the grid. They don't do social media, and it's becoming the new cool. And if it weren't for me having a YouTube channel, I think I'd do it as well. It's honestly like the place is toxic, and I can't actually believe what you just said there. In a sense of, I have seen it as well. Arsenal fans calling for Arteta's head, not willing to wait. I don't know what people expect. I don't know what people expect. You just to pick, like Pep took over City. City were a good team. They won the league the year before. Even Frank Lampard's Chelsea team were only champions a few years back. Like, we're talking Arsenal 1.5 decades ago, Man United nearly a decade ago. It takes time to build these teams up from where they were. Fans just got to have far more patience.
Can I just say something? Yeah, listen. The Arsenal team, they perform well against Liverpool, perform well against City. It's average players. They're not going to do it 5 games in. They're not going to do that. You might get 2 games out of them.
And that's the question I have for you. That how long can Arteta keep going with your squad with average players if we're not getting the right investment? Because he clearly is a quality manager, and give it 2 or 3 years, PSG are going to come in for him.
Facts. I've said it. It won't work. And I don't think he's that sort of person to stick around. I think if he goes in there for, say, the next, I'll give it 18 months. And if he doesn't see any ambition, I think he will walk away. Because you can see, I don't know if there's a difference from being a manager and a coach. You can see he's a top coach. And for me, when it goes on a few months, you might start learning. You can see the man management and things like that will come into place. But right now, you can only do what you can do with the squad. There's not much you can do with this team.
You know what? After next transfer window, not this one, because obviously the pandemic has killed this transfer window, so we don't know what's happening. But after next transfer window in the summer, if Arsenal don't get their cash out and something changes, he's gone. He's gone.
Simple as. Simple as that. And we need to actually remain as a stable team.
Yeah. But even not spending this pack window, like other teams are going to spend, and if other teams are spending, Arsenal have got the money as well. Because I know you rely a bit more on gate receipts than everybody else, but it's pretty much anticipated that fans are back by October. The prices of players is going to average drop by 26-27%. Lo and behold, that seems to be about the same amount of money that clubs are losing in terms of their income. So there isn't a massive issue here for football clubs. And as long as Arsenal don't spend so much money that they could go bankrupt if there was another lockdown or something, they can still afford to go out there and buy players. And right now, this is the best market to buy players in when you're a wealthy club like Arsenal. It's just them going out there and do it. It's as simple as that. Every financial expert you speak to says that. So I don't really care what fans and journalists have got to say. Fact is, financial experts are telling the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Man United, the likes of Liverpool, all of us, it's the best time for us to spend on players.
Listen, this pandemic is giving us a cheat code. Like, if I own a business and I know I can take myself to another level with what this opportunity has been given, this is where you go and do it. So this is where this summer we'll know if Steve Dott's got ambition or not. And so
now is the best time to go and buy a house. Now is the best time, because I see saying you go and buy a house now, like in the 80s, you're going to be a property millionaire in the next 5 years. I'm telling you. That's where the economy is now.
Bro, like Thomas Partey's available for about £40 million because I know there's a part buyout clause, but also you can get him less than that because Atletico are in financial hardship. Like this is, Man United are going to pick up Jadon Sancho, a player that a year ago who was going to be, it was 120, 130 million, an absolute dot on the cards a year ago. That's what his valuation was pushing towards. United are going to pick him up for around about 85 to 90 million pounds, which is it's 40 million pound of savings you've got there. That's more. That savings on him is more than we're losing. He's almost about 10 million more than we'd lose for not having any games for the whole of next season.
Yeah, but we're smart. We're smart. We'll get him when he's 37 on a free transfer. You're missing big bit.
There we go. But boys, listen, I appreciate everyone coming on, everyone who's contributed. Zane, big yourself up, lads. Appreciate you all coming on. And we'll chat to you all again soon. Take care. Goodbye.